Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Our schools are going to be closed. It was happening in the middle of the night. Leaks are starting to come. So before I start the video, thank you so much for 100 views in my last video. Thank you so much. Also, I did receive a comment in my last video, and it was talking about the Amazon wish list. So normally I never do a sit down video like this, but because of everything that happened with the Hurricane Milton, I feel like I have to update all of you about my experience, especially as a teacher that literally has not been in the classroom for almost 2 weeks. Okay, so I feel like I have to start from the beginning. So the week before, that was the first week of October, I had no idea this was gonna happen. I was just, teacher doing her teacher things. And I find out, I think that's Saturday, that there is a hurricane coming. And I'm wondering, wait, we just had Hurricane Helene, which if you don't know about that one also was very devastating to Florida. Sunday, then I realized how bad this hurricane is going to be, and I get an email from my superintendent saying that our schools are going to be closed. I did not know. I literally thought I was going to work that Monday to find out the day before that I'm not even going to work because there's another hurricane. So here I go into preparation. So we start putting on shutters on our house. So as you could see, it's actually just wood, and our back door is glass. So we had to have someone put this wood on here because we knew, based on what they were saying about the Hurricane Milton, that glass was probably going to break, and it actually would have broken. Okay, so although school was closed on Monday, we still could have went in on Monday to essentially just prepare our classrooms for the hurricane, which was perfect. And so I went in, I rolled up my rug, I put the rug on the desk, I made sure things weren't on the ground because of flooding possibly, and made sure cords and stuff were up high. And also I did bring some stuff home too, just in case. Then we find out that for the rest of the week that I am not coming into work because of this hurricane. And this hurricane, mind you, was coming on Thursday. So now I'm just trying to understand what I should do, if it's needed to evacuate or not. And it has been crazy. So we made sure that our house was protected. Mind you, we are living in a house that's very old, so we were like super duper worried about what's gonna happen. So all those 3 days, I think Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it was just preparations and just preparing for the hurricane. Also, another thing that I did was I actually planned out the whole of next week for my classroom. So I planned out what I'm going to be teaching for each subject Monday through Friday, just because I wanted to be ahead of the game, just in case we were going to go back to school Monday, which, mind you, we did not end up going back to school the next Monday. But I did prepare for the next week so that going back in, it's less stress. So within those 3 days, not only was I preparing and doing some prep work for teaching, but also I did some college work just in case the electricity comes out. I could have that work done already. Even though a lot of instructors did extend due dates, I just wanted to get it over with so I don't even have to do makeup work after the hurricane. So I just kind of went ahead in college and did that. So this is what I was doing between those 3. Here comes Thursday, and this happened, I think Wednesday night was when we had to prepare, because it was happening in the middle of the night, which I feel like made it worse, that it was literally night. It was dark outside when this hurricane was happening. So it was bad. It started late that night, like it was like 9-10 on Wednesday was when it was starting. So like 9-10 on Wednesday, the wind started just going crazy, and it was bad. The house was shaking. And then I found out that I had a leak in my bedroom. and that was fun. So I had to move all the stuff that was underneath the leak and move it all the way to the other side of the room because I didn't want my stuff to get all molded up. So yes, so as soon as 9-10 p.m. start, leaks are starting to come. And then also our house almost got flooded because we have this weird angle to our house. So although it's on stilts, it's angled towards us. If you know, essentially when the rain was going down, then it was flooding up our front porch and it was not leaving the porch. So it was coming down towards the house from in the porch. Thankfully, I did have my mom with me. So she was helping out with, we had to sweep out the water from the porch to make sure it didn't get into the house. So she was doing that most of the time. And I was just literally just freaking out because literally it felt like the whole world was gonna end at that. And I was just so scared that the walls were gonna fall in because, like I said, it's an old house. So the whole time I was just looking around, hoping the walls don't fall down on me. That whole night from 9 p.m. all the way until that early morning, it was just on and off and barely got any sleep. So we lost electricity. And yeah, we lost electricity for a couple days. Thankfully, we had water and the sinks was working, but the electricity was gone. We had to use flashlights from then on. I'm in a certain picture of how the yard looked like. But it was like devastation on that yard. That yard looked so bad. The tree, literally during the hurricane, it hit into our house when it fell and almost broke my window. So I was so scared that it was going to, but it did not hit my window, thankfully. But it was devastation outside our house. We did go grocery shopping before the hurricane and we did buy canned soups. So we were just eating soups for a couple of days and it was cold, but it was the only thing that we could have eaten that we didn't have to cook. Also, because our electricity went out, most of the food from in the fridge spoiled. So we had to throw a lot of food away. A couple of days later, electricity comes on, thankfully, and I literally jumped for joy because I'm so happy that I could finally eat hot food and finally turn on my lights in my house. So thankfully we had people come in here to check the leaks and they put a temporary seal on it, but I still don't have my stuff in that area because it's temporary. And yeah, still have my hurricane shutters on because at this point I don't even know there's another hurricane coming. Because I was not expecting Milton at all, and it just happened. Okay, so after the hurricane, most people in Tampa did not have any power. So it was just us. There was a lot of people there in Tampa, and also schools did not have any power. Also, something that I did not realize was that the food that was stored in schools were refrigerated, and when the power went off, all those foods spoiled. So it ended up that schools did not have enough food for students for them to come back. So because schools didn't have power and because of the food situation and also there was still a lot of flooding, school was canceled on Monday. So even going into the next week, schools was canceled. And now it says the next week after the hurricane and I'm still wondering like, when are we gonna get back to normal, you know? And yeah, I really hope that everyone ended up being safe during this hurricane. I heard a lot of things that happened, especially during the coastal areas, that it was worse than even Tampa. Definitely comment down below how your experience was during the hurricane and definitely let me know and we could maybe talk about it all together. So, like I said, I'm still not in the classroom yet teaching, and yeah, I really miss my students. Like I miss seeing them every day. That was kind of my experience during this Hurricane Milton as a teacher. If you liked the video, definitely like it and subscribe. I'll be posting my next video pretty soon. All right, talk to everyone later.